Hi, Ayurveda visioning why space is part of the plan. In this video I want to talk about if you're in the beginning of this year or beginning of a year, or if you feel ready to call, to set goals and envisioning any time of the year. You have your visions and your vision board and your list and your goals and everything is fine, but there's one missing ingredient that I really want to share with you in this video. So in this video, I want to share with you how living space and openness in your vision board, in your visioning process, in your goal setting intention process, and how important that is from an Ayurvedic point of view, but also from what's now such a modern word, manifesting point of view, which, is, for me, I would say a modern word right now, but it's just a description of how life functions, how our nervous system also functions from the Ayurvedic point of view. So I want to share with you in the beginning a story where, for me, it became really clear. So it's not something I've heard a teacher say. I actually heard someone talk about it just 2 or 3 weeks afterwards, but it's something I really realized, and I think especially in the upcoming year, this is very important for you to know. So at the end of this last year, I was sitting, I'm having a Zoom call with my close friend, and we're just chatting away, and I am, talking about what we would do over the holidays. And one of the things I said, I'm going to really take my time for my visioning and intensing setting process, which I do every year. Around the new year, and also for myself on my birthdays, and it's a really important part of my one-on-one Ayurveda yoga coaching programs, where I really guide people to go through the year, honor the year, go through ending, consciously follow also the rhythm of the 12 dark nights and the 12 holy nights to really arrive beautifully at the end of the year and start up fresh in the beginning of the new year, because before we start something new, it's good to let something old go and be fine also to be in an in-between state. And so I shared this with her, and then I realized, almost like jokingly, it was kind of a spontaneous thing. I said, one thing I realized though, in this whole planning and visioning, what's really important is to leave space. Because, some of the most amazing things that happened last year happened spontaneously and unplanned. Even so, when I think about it now, I have a second thought about what I'm just saying. I explain it in a moment, but for me it's really true. In 2025, some of the most amazing things, like going to the Shivananda ashram in Austria, Kitzbühel, or getting visited by some of my 2 closest friends in Tenerife, and I had no idea about it in the beginning of the year. Or, meeting Amritananda Mai Devi again for the first time after 6 years of not seeing her and having no idea that she would travel again to Europe. So these are amazing things that happen that I haven't planned for, and that I invite you now to leave space for. Leave space for synchronicities to happen in your life. Leave space in your life for surprises. And leave space in your life for grace to unfold and happen. And yes, what I want to let you know this right away, because I do this every year with my private coaching clients and my private yoga students, to really go through a visioning, intention setting process. And it's really powerful, it really feels like you know where you are, you'll know where you want to go, and it's kind of like a guiding compass. And there are many aspects I can share on the video or on my blog or in my newsletter with that, but there are many tools you get, to orientate yourself. And it's really important to vision, to dream, to set goals, to focus and concentrate, and yet to leave things open. And what I realized, that the most amazing things happened to me in 2025 were not planned, they were visioned. Because in the beginning of that year, I had envisioned to meet some of my closest friends. this year. And you know, some of you who know me, I live at the moment in Tenerife, so none of my closest friends from my lifetime live where I live at the moment. So one of my 12 wishes from my 12 sun salutation ritual that I've shared earlier was to visit actually some of my closest friends. And I put some names down in some places. So it's true, I didn't visit any of these people, I didn't go to any of these places. The year turned out differently, but guess what? These people came to me, to Tenerife. So it's amazing. And I also had down one of my 12 focus points was, you know, to deepen spirituality. And here I am, you know, being able to go to the Shivananda ashram in Austria, even so if it's just for 2 days, and meeting Amritananda Mai Devi in Munich, and I had no idea. So I put an intention, I put a vision there, but how it unfolded, I didn't know. So I was open for whatever comes, and I invite you to do the same thing, you know. And here I want to share another story with you, because just a week ago I did a workshop. It was very spontaneous. I just had it in my email box, you know. It was the 6th of January, I had time, kids were still home. I thought, okay, I do this vision board free workshop. And also in that workshop, the teacher said, you know, I've done for 40 years vision boards. I've been teaching it for almost that long. And I've always taught it a certain way. It's important to keep a frame around your pictures and words and your intention to kind of hold the space for it to manifest. But I've realized in the last 2 years, you have to keep an extra space around it. And she calls it the zone of synchronicities. And it's exactly what I'm saying, exactly what I've realized also working with the so-called modern expression manifesting, is that you can put out intentions, you can put out goals, you can work mentally on it, but then you have to give it up. You have, for however you want to call it, the zone of synchronicity, life, the universe, the universal soul, whatever you want to call it, the quantum field of all possibilities, to reply to you. And for this you have to keep space. And this is a very Ayurvedic teaching, because from the 5 elements that are described in Ayurveda, the first one is Akasha, or ether, which represents space. Because if you don't have space, how can things to manifest and come into your space, I mean into your life, if you don't create space? So please, this is what I'm telling you. Don't get too, I mean, you know, we spend all this time decluttering and then we clutter up our space again. So don't do that. Don't clutter up your space at home with little gadgets you don't need. And at the same time, don't clutter up your time and your mental space, and don't clutter up your vision board or your goal and vision setting, whatever you want to call it, you know, inquiry. Leave space for synchronicity to happen, for surprises. And please be open that whatever you have been envisioning, dreaming, wanting to manifest might come to you in a different form. Like I said to one of my coaching clients a few days ago, I mean, maybe you have written down you want a special red dress this year. You know, you want to save money, you want to buy this dress, and you want to use it to, I don't know, for your anniversary with your boyfriend or your husband, or for a special ball that year. And you visualize it in this, and then one day you pass by this magazine or this storefront and you see this beautiful golden dress, and it speaks to you and it's so beautiful, and you just pass by because you said, no, I envisioned a red dress. But that's synchronicity, that's life coming and saying, that's your dress. So I think this is a simple example, but you can apply this to everything. You know, you envision a relationship, a partnership with a man, I don't know, with curly hair and blue eyes, and suddenly there comes a man with no hair and green eyes. And that might be just the right man the universe sends to you, and you're looking away because you want exactly that. The same with the job, you know, you write down the job description, exactly what you want, you visualize it, you want to manifest it, you set yourself a goal. And you know what? Then whatever comes to you looks different, and you think, but it's not exactly what I wanted to, but this is what life or universe is giving to you. So leave space for that, because that might be exactly what you need. And I'm telling you this because I'm telling myself this. It's so, sometimes we get so rigid, you know, so set on something. So please leave space for the unplanned. Yeah, it's important to have this visioning, intention setting, and I'll do this every year, as I said, in my one-on-one coaching programs. And I see how this is a guiding light for most of my clients and students. And some years it's amazing. It's almost like as planned it unfolds, and we're both, you know, the client and I are stunned. And some years I see with clients, they set goals or visions, and it doesn't turn out to be that way, but something else comes or another lesson. And I think this is really important for you to hear what I want to share with you. Leave space in your planning. Don't get too rigid. And this is also in Ayurveda. If you push your nervous system too hard, you know, and this is very much also in my world of entrepreneurship or business, you know, you want this, you push hard, you do everything, you know. That's one way of working with it. And stay focused, stay intent, but stay soft, stay open. Don't let the nervous system and your mind and your body get rigid and tense and hold on to something. Because also in the old manifestation world, already Deepak Chopra in this very famous book, you know, 7 Laws of Spiritual, you know, Success, 7 laws, you know the book. If you know it, I'm sorry, I can also link it to. But he already describes, you know, you have a wish and then you have to let go. The more you cling on to something, the more you get rigid, the more you block the energy. And I'm not only telling you this, I'm telling myself this. It's a constant reminder. So envision something, set the intentions, set the goals, leave space for synchronicities to happen. Don't expect one certain outcome or in a certain way. And please let go. Don't get too rigid of it. Your nervous system cramps down. Your body contracts. The energy stops to flow. So this is what I want to share with you. If you want to subscribe to my channels for more of this amazing tips and contents in the yoga, Ayurveda, universal energy world, please do so. I also have a monthly blog, 2-3 blogs a month, where you can go more deeper into what I've just shared with you. I also have the Inner Library blog, where I share stories of my own yogic and life path. And yes, I invite you to my newsletter, because there you get every week the news, the links to the newsletter, to the YouTube, and you stay tuned in to more really valuable information for your life, both personal, spiritual, and professional. Thank you very much. Namaste.